Okay, morning guys. Michelle in Ghana. I think morning time is the best time to do this. So I don't know if I'm going to need a light. It's breaking, dawn. No, it's not dawn. It's beyond dawn. What time is it? It is now. It is now 6:40. I didn't even know it was so late. Brother! Wait! Bloody dog them. See them over junior property, they go through the bush like crazy. Me see bingo anyway. Guys, I need my hand to call that dog. Bingo! Yeah, I'm running up and down. Yeah, they all over the place when you let them go. My fear is that they roam like far. But there are two males too, so I don't know. I hear that somebody had advised me that when I was getting a dog, I should get female. They're less likely to roam. But what I was afraid of is that it would attract a whole heap of male dogs. At least with these, they go. Well, once you treat them good, as far as I know, they come back. But these two, they're wild, crazy. So as soon as you let them go, they're gone. Well, as far as I know, they were in the house, the yard, the whole night. But I guess it's daylight now, so bingo him all over the place. Anyway, yeah, I am giving an update on the house. This week here gone, starting Monday, the mason has been here. He's the only one who came yesterday, so still had to get his full money. All the money. I've been paying $350 per day, $200 I assume for the mason and $150 for the laborer. Initially it was contracted and I was told $3,000, but when I saw the money, and they started asking me to give the guys each day, as I was saying to myself, so why say contract if you're gonna ask for it each day? But anyway, they finished yesterday. In fact, the guy left, the mason left, I think probably after 8 minutes to 9. He was here really late. Of course, we fed him before he left. We cooked late yesterday. Yesterday we did fried sweet potatoes with fried chicken. Yeah. So I promised myself I'd get up this morning because I know I'm going to get distracted and give you an overall update. I started, apart from the walls that were being done this week, I did, I do little things. I clean up the yard and so on, and some of those stories out already. But yesterday I got my 2x4s and the sheet of 1/2-inch ply that I bought, and I did my my closet. So I'm going to show the finish, but I guess I'll have to put up the first one introducing the steps that I took to do it before I put up the finished thingy. But let me see what I can do with the lighting in here for the wall. So this is the laundry, and guys, you would not believe the difference to the overall house when you plaster the walls, yeah, and smooth up. It's still drying, yeah, and those waves you see is the motion of the thing. The guy is so meticulous. Now every single thing is perfect as far as I am concerned, in terms of in fact the levelness is better than I've seen and his care in making sure that he gets the edges. So these parts, the doorways and so on, they take so long, it's not funny, because you know how it go. You have to make it set before you're smooth and all kind of things. But he did a good job, right? So this is the kitchen. You know, we move back in as soon as they move from the area. So I see my kitchen taking shape, right? I see my kitchen taking shape. So of course, you know, up there is smooth, down here is rough casted or rough plastered, because we're going to be tiling those areas. And this is the pantry. He did this part last night. He finished it last night. I was thinking of putting in door frame, and then because of the wood thing and the condition of the wood eventually, I just changed my mind. So these are the plastered walls. You can tell me what you think. The edges, though, it really takes care with the edges as far as I'm concerned. I've had this is full of different skills in terms of outcome. He did that yesterday in the day, so he smoothed over this part, right? So, right? And then this part now going into the living room. I did that curve yesterday too. He did quite a lot of work yesterday, to be honest. And I wanted all of these areas finished because when I start tiling, I want to tile from in there all the way, from in the laundry all the way out here to where the kitchen ends right here at this corner. Hence this little piece here. Money is finished, so I don't know when I could start up again. So I wanted this done because I think I want to do the kitchen before tile and so on before I even finish anyway. Since the money finished, I want that set of cement that is left to be used for tiling. So I think when I get money, I'm just gonna find the money for tiling. So he did this side of the wall in the for the living room, but most of it. The electricians are not back. I am speculating that the only parts that we have to leave is here, because I think wires from outside supposed to come in through there, and the pipe's supposed to line up properly and all of that. So that section, but I think everything else can be covered. But you see the living room, the heap of things that would have to move. Here's tiles, not easily moved. So all of these things, we want to use off some of the tiles. That's another reason why I wanted the tile. So we want to use all the tiles for that little section in front of the bathroom, for this little section here, and then the kitchen. So all of these areas would be tiled. I had about a gallon of the wall primer, so I think I want to see how far that can take me. I did some priming yesterday as well in this area and in the bathroom. Somebody's in the bathroom. But even the priming, it does so much for the walls, I can tell you. This side is unfinished because I did this, stopped right there, and yeah. So I need to finish it, right? And this part now, those two are still in there. Was the second attempt at doing the shelf over the thing there in the front room. We were speculating doing that side too, but we don't want to block the light from the window. Yeah, so this is it. And this is the progress. So little by little I see, you know, everything coming up. Of course, you guys know there's a lot of stuff that needs to be done. A little at a time, of course, but a lot. Because I weighed something. We still have buckets, right? So the buckets I had some put down for whatever reason. I wasn't using them. So I took them out yesterday and so we should go on using all of them. I had to decide what I wanted as a priority in terms of spending and fixing. And while I want running water into the house to start utilizing like my shower, the fancy shower thingy there and all of those things, and finish putting in the sink pipe and those things, I figured I wanted to make myself more comfortable. I don't mind carrying water. As soon as I said that, somebody watched one of the videos. I think it's the one where I went to Britannia with the generator, and they were asking if I choose to live that way. You choose to live that way? Something like that. Or did you choose to live this way? And I smiled when I saw it. It's really funny to me that people want to judge your choices. Everybody has their choice. It sounded really judgy. It came in mind, there's this lady who said we listen and we don't judge, or we look and we don't judge, or we watch and we don't judge. More people should follow that. They comment or question, I don't know if it's rhetorical or whatever, but it sounded really judgy to ask. And I was thinking first that because I was saying that the guys here are people, it's not just a guy. I think when they're calling this, like that was in it, and I was talking about the stretch of the back and forth, I think, with the generator. So I know some persons will have a problem with living like that. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem jumping on the bike. In fact, with the taxi, I know things don't remain the same forever. So the only concern is that I lose the reasonable taxi driver that we currently have. But in terms of moving up and down, I don't mind just jumping in a taxi, go where I want to go and come back, and jumping on a bike for the short distances and so on. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me that I'm using a generator currently. Frustrating, yes, when it breaks down, but it doesn't bother me to the extent that it would be to me a stressful life. And frankly, stress is relative. You have good stress and bad stress for those persons who don't know. But at the end of the day, everybody chooses to live how they want to live. And this is my choice. So for those persons who see it as a downgrade from the US, that's fine. That's a downgrade for you. It's not a downgrade for me. To me, it's an upgrade. To me, even Jamaica, I think, is more advanced than, maybe overall, or maybe in just some areas. Some people would say overall Jamaica is more advanced. There are a lot of things more advanced in Jamaica than here. But there are things too that I prefer, whether they are considered by others to be downgraded or upgraded. There are many things that I prefer here for, and that's fine for me. All right. So I was laughing at that when I remembered it a while ago. Each time I remember it, I kind of smile. My priority is not the water right now. It's getting the place to a comfortable part and getting rid of some of the dust. Because let me tell you guys, every single time you dust off and you put down and you fix down, if you put the pots then down long enough, they gather dust from the floor. So the quicker we tile, the better it is, right? Some people will see the naked walls and they have a problem with the fact that someone hit a wall, and the naked floors, and they have a problem with it. the fact of the matter is I have a roof over my head. And even if the roof leak, I have a roof over my head. Some people don't have that, you know, and I'm cognizant of that fact every day, you know. I'm still blessed, highly favored. And I actually love the journey. I love getting the money and I do something and it's a step above what was there before. Some people will just focus on wanting to have the tiles on the floor and the walls painted and no problems with the roof. And that's fine as well. But this is me. I embrace everything here. The good and the bad. Everywhere you go, there is good and bad, as a matter of fact. So I'm good. So this is it. I'm thinking I'm going to read some cassava. Day before yesterday, I read some potatoes. I'm thinking I'm going to read some cassavas today. I see one there that I'm sure have some nice size ones. But I love the life here. But that's me. That's me. So that's the update for the house. Some of the walls, I have the tiles for the kitchen area. I just remember that in here is supposed to be a sink over there. I forgot. So the problem with that now is, while I have the connections, I forgot to build a sink area, and I would have preferred it concrete. I don't think I've abandoned the idea of the concrete doing it, but I think I'm gonna have to damage the walls, because if I do this sink I think I'd want it from here and touching the wall, or not touching the wall, so we don't have to dig out the wall. You know, for here, no, you put it on the ground, the blocks come out, and to the height that I want, and then I cast the top, board it up and cast it for the levelness. But that means in here also we'll need tiling right around this area. You'll be all the way to the wall, from the wall to that wall. Yeah. So I'm either going to have to check the tiles that I have, because I think I overbought with one of them. Not sure. And the black and white tiles for here, the sink and so on, definitely I want to put the fancy tiles inside here. I have too many tiles that are leftovers to do that. I covered it. I was going to show you guys the black and white tiles that I chose to use for the kitchen cupboard here. But that's it, right? So the living room will have to be cleared for anything else to be done. And since this is almost 20 minutes, I think I'll finish this. I'm gonna do a video on the bedroom, well, the closet. But I'll see you guys in another video. Persons have been asking about, what I've been doing in the house, so that's the update. I'm still waiting on the electrical guy to come back. I showed you those things already. This area I think is finished, hence why we were able to plaster the walls and so on. But yeah, so that's it.